And now it is sitting dangerously close to sliding into the creek. First thing I decided to do today was clean up the floors a little bit up here, because since I've got a big hole in the floor, I really didn't want stuff that I could trip over on the floor. Now, the hole in the floor also made it a whole lot easier to clean up, because instead of scooping all the plaster into buckets and carrying it down the stairs, I just pushed it right through the hole, and now I can scoop it up downstairs and put it in the buckets and just take it right out through the front door right there. Upstairs entryway is done in here. So the only wall I have left to do is the other side right here. So there's the entryway. I've got to do this side, that's log behind there. And then I also have to do the downstairs on this side of the wall. And then this whole section of the log house will be done for now. And then I can start working on the one that's over on the other side of that wall. It's right over in there. So I don't know if I'll get the upstairs and downstairs of this room, or of this wall here, done today or not. I'll definitely have it done this week though. So hopefully I'll be able to start on the other log section this week as well. It's a new day here on the farm. By the time I finished up last night, it was too dark to show video of what I'd gotten done. There is the entryway right over in there. So this is the wall on the other side of this, and this probably would have originally been an exterior wall. So over here in the corners, you can actually see the corner notches in here. And I believe this type of notch is called a V notch, because the ends of the logs have a V to them. And so I got both sides of this wall done. So now the only wall left in this section of the log house, or in this section of the house that is log, is a wall that is directly below here. So it's the same side, but it's on the first floor. So that hopefully I will get done today. However, today is getting off to a slow start because last night it rained. So everything got really muddy. So the truck, it got stuck, and it doesn't help that it's only two-wheel drive. And now it is sitting dangerously close to sliding into the creek. So I'm going to show you what I've done down there. As you can see, I have taken plaster, scooped it off the floor of the house, put it in buckets, and carried it out here. And I'm using that for traction. Hopefully that will keep it from sliding downhill. There isn't much of a slope here, but it's just enough that it's making me kind of nervous. So got it on both sides, got a good bit of it. Then I also took a piece of wood, and I'm using that kind of as a guide or a guard to try and keep the wheel from sliding any farther. And I may see if I can find another one to put up front there. Reinforcements are complete. Now let's see if we can get this thing out of here without putting it into the creek. Oh man, Oh, that's a relief. Okay, that is out of there, unstuck, and oh wow. Okay, that was fun. That was only an hour and a half of lost time for today. But hey, I still got some more time this morning to get some work done on the house. So let's get to it. The last time I was out here, I was working on the lower wall of what was probably the exterior of the house at some point. And by the time that I finished, it was dark enough out that once again I couldn't get good video of it to show you guys. So I'm going to show you that today. It's a few days later. But first, I wanted to show you what it looks like outside today. It is beautiful out. It's the first snowfall of the year around here. And we only got about 3 or 4 inches, but it's enough to cover everything. And it's pretty nice looking out today. So, anyway, on to what you want to see. So, here is the lower room. I got the wall done in here, so it's probably an exterior wall, and you can see the joints in there, up around. I haven't gotten those furring strips out of there, the nailer strips, because they're behind the door trim. So I'm not going to try getting those out quite yet. And then the other side, got that done too. That means that this section of the log house is done for now. I've still got to clean up all the plaster off from the ground, and that's what I'm working on today. So the other section is this part right here. There's 2 doors. On the other side of that wall is where I think their kitchen was, and over here was like a sitting room or something. The lower part of that section over there is also log. So I'll have to move all this junk out of the way to be able to get this side of this wall here. I don't know if I'm going to get started on that today or not. It depends how cleaning goes up and a couple other things I had to do. I have scooped up the rest of the plaster. I made my trip to the landfill. I came back, scooped up what was left, put those in the buckets, and now I am officially done with this section of the log house. So I'm going to move over to the other side, and I don't think you guys have seen this section yet, so I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to go over there. So here's the room I was just working on. Now we're going to go through this door, and we got a breeze in there. We got some broken windows. So I'll shut this behind me, try and cut down on the draft. So this is what I think was the kitchen at some point. There's some odds and ends of old dishes. The cookie jar, and old chairs and stuff. Over here is pantry, right in that door, right there. And this section over here is the other log part. And you can see here the door jamb here is about, 8, I don't know, 10 or 12 inches across there. And this room is the other log section of the house, and I believe it is just the single story here. The first story of this room is, oh, hello there, just the first floor of this section is log, but all the walls all the way around here, I'm gonna have to strip them all down, and then the other side of the walls as well. So I'm going to bring my tools over to this section and get started. Drywall is off from this wall over here. This is the south wall of this room. And I gotta say, this house is always full of surprises. You never know what you're gonna find. So if you look right here in the middle, you can see those boards are cut differently. It almost looks like there might be a window in this wall here, or at least at some point there was. But I don't know yet. I'll find out once I take these boards off. Here goes. I got the nails off this one side, and we're gonna pull it off and see what's behind here. Yep, that's what I thought. That looks like they had an old window in here. And you can kind of see the logs back in there. Until today, I had no idea there was a window in there. Let's pull the rest of these boards off and see what it looks like. So the construction in this part of the house is a little bit different in that the first layer on the walls was drywall, which I have all off now. And then behind the drywall was 1x tongue and groove boards, and then behind those were the furring strips they were hooked to. There's no plaster and lath over here, and I don't know why there's the difference there in the construction. I don't know if it was what they had on hand at the time, or whether it was a time difference, like time period, how they did it. I don't know, but it's sort of interesting, and it's actually a little bit easier taking this off than the plaster and lath. I got the two walls, well, one wall, that section done over there, and then part of this wall over here done. And that's going to be it for this week. I'd really like to have this room done by next week. I don't know if I'll get the whole thing done or not, but I'd like to have at least most of it done. I'll see you in the next video.